ayrı ayrı teşekkür ederim. Büyük bir heyecanla bekliyorduk bugünü, bu 2 günü. Biraz çok kısa zamanda hazırlandı. Kısa zamanda hazırlandığı için, hazırlık yapıldığı için ne olacak diye bir korku içindeydik. Ama çok güzel oldu. Sizler sayesinde hepiniz katıldınız. Bizim beklentimiz salonları bile düşünürken kaç kişi gelir diye düşünüyorum. Taner hocamız dedi ki Albert Longor'u ilk gün için açalım. Taner çok isabetli olmuş o karar. Çünkü salonun 4'te 3'ü doldu gibi geliyor bana. Yani bizim beklentilerimizden çok daha, katılım çok daha fazla oldu. Bugün de bakıyorum sizlerin ilgisi çok büyük. Şimdi bu ilgi tabii bana bir şeyler söylüyor. Yani buradan sonra nereye gideriz, ne yaparız? Bir yol haritası çıkartmamız gerek diye düşünüyorum. Çünkü bu iş burada kalmaması lazım. Çok önemli bir sorun. Türkiye'nin çok önemli bir sorunu diye düşünüyorum. Tüm dünyanın çok önemli bir sorunu. Ama biz bunu kendi aramızda akademisyenler olarak tartışıp çok önemli sorundur diye kalkıp eve gidersek hiçbir şey olmuyor. Uçuşuyor havada. Hepimiz her şeyi biliyoruz. Doğru şeyleri tartışıyoruz. Aramıza yabancı arkadaşlarımızı davet ediyoruz. Bize güzel sunuşlar yapıyorlar. Onlar da kalkıyor, gidiyor. Belki kendi memleketlerinde çok güzel işler yapıyorlar mesela Cem. Fakat bizde havada kalabiliyor. Benim bu kadar seneki tecrübem Türkiye'de bu. Herkes her şeyi biliyor, hiçbir şey yapmıyor gibi geliyor. Onun için şimdi şeye geçelim. Ne yapalım'a geçelim. Yani bu ne yapalım? Bir, yeni fikirler üretmek lazım. Çok karmaşık sorunlara hepimizin birlikte eğilmemiz lazım. Bir de kamuoyuna eğilmek lazım. Politikacıları suçlamak bence doğru değil. Bence kamuoyu, yani politikacıların hesap verdiği kimseleri, politikacıların seçim kazanları buraya oylarına muhtaç oldukları kimseleri harekete geçirmemiz lazım. Yani benim çok güzel tartışıldı. İşte Mersin'de nükleer santral kuruluyor. Mersin'de nükleer santral kuruluyor. Mersin'de ne diyor bu işe? Olay nedir? Bilinçli mi bakılıyor? Bunları bizim gibi önümüzdeki günlerde hep düşünmemiz lazım. Üzerinde fikir üretmemiz lazım. Üzerinde bilgi toplamamız, data toplamamız lazım. Ve bunları da çok uygun lisanla hem kamuoyunun önüne hem de karar vericilerin önüne, yani siyasetçilerin karar vericilerin önüne sunmamız lazım. Şimdi tabii UNSDSM ve Kolombiya Üniversitesi'yle beraber bu işi yapıyor olmamız bizim için çok önemli bir fırsat. Çünkü işin global tarafını da devreye sokuyor. Oradan gelecek hem onay hem oradan gelecek fikirler bizler için çok önemli. Ama Türkiye işini de çok sıkı tutmamız gerekiyor. Şimdi UNSDSM Turkey deyince bizim burada bir örgüt kurmamız gerekiyor. Biz çok teşekkür ederiz SDSM'e. Boğaziçi Üniversitesi'ni teklif ettiler. Ben şu anda Boğaziçi Üniversitesi'nin çok eskisiyim ama şu anda çalışanı bile değilim. Yani böyle bir honorary durumdayım. Fakat ben de bu işe gönül verdiğim için ben çalışırım sizlerle dedim. Şimdi bizim bir örgüt kurmamız gerekiyor. Yani bu örgütü nasıl kuracağız? Bize SDSM bir takım kriterleri veriyorlar ki bir leadership council kurun. Bir de bunun executive komitesi olsun, daha çok yakından işe baksın. Bir de tabii benim tecrübeme göre bir sekreteriyat lazım. Bir sekreteriyat kurmamız lazım ki yani aramızda communication yürüsün, devamlı bizi yani web sayfası hazırlanacak bir takım konularda dikkatimize getirilecek falan. Fazla uzatmayayım ama hepiniz anlıyorsunuz ne demek istediğimi. Bunda tabii bir mali bir şeyi var, bir portresi var bu işin. Ben şöyle bir tecrübem var benim. Eğer bu Türkiye'nin projesi olacaksa, hepimizin projesi olacak, Boğaziçi'nin olmayacak. Herkesin projesi değil, bir kuruma bütün şeyler yıkılırsa o proje o kurumun olur. Veya o insanın olur, o vakfın olur. Burada bizim bir network, bir ağ projesi yaratmamız lazım. Bu ağ da işte Leadership Council etrafında ve Executive Committee'nin önderliğinde Boğaziçi'nin kolaylaştırıcılığında. Şimdi Boğaziçi bize burada çok önemli imkan sağlıyor. Bir, yer. Çok önemli. İki, IT hizmetleri. Bu da çok önemli. Üç, gelebilecek, yaratabilecek fonları, buradaki yönetimi. Biliyorsunuz Türkiye'de insanlar vakıf ve dernek kuruyor bunları yapabilmek için. Ama şimdi gelişen bu networklerde başka bir model de gelişmeye başladı. Böyle bir kurum bunu üstleniyor. Bir nevi filantropik bir maksatla da bu fonların yönetiminde yardımcı oluyor. Demek ki bize 3 tane ana destek Boğaziçi Üniversitesi verebilir. Tabii bunun dışında da çok önemli, üniversitenin akademik kapasitesi, akademik birikimi de çok önemli. Fakat bu akademik birikimin biz dışına da taşmamız gerekir. Diğer üniversiteleri de için içine çekmemiz lazım. Yalnız diğer üniversiteler değil, ayaklarımızın yere basması için özel sektör ve sivil toplum kuruluşları da, yani sahada sizler gibi ellerini kirleten, siperlerde savaşanların da şeyine ihtiyacımız var, desteğine ihtiyacımız var. Onun için bu network yapılması, yani bundan sonra ne yapacak? Bundan sonra bir network yapılacak. Şimdi bizim de bu toplantı benim için, benim şahsen arkadaşlarım söylüyorum. Biz burada dünyayı tekelliği yeniden keşfedemeyiz. Dünyayı yeni baştan inceleyemeyiz. Yani buradaki toplantının amacı herkesi bir araya getirmek, birbirleriyle tanışsınlar, kendi konuları etrafında ve ileriye doğru düşünmeye, yani bu örgütlenmeyi nasıl yapabiliriz diye düşünmeye başlasınlar. Ve yani kısacası biz bunu nasıl yaratalıma eğilmeye başlayalım. Şimdi benim sizlerden ricam, tabii zamanla belli olacak. Bu ilginizin devam etmesi. Bu ilginiz devam ederken de biz yavaş yavaş sizlerle, yani bize bütün adreslerinizi, koordinatlarınızı bıraktığınızı düşünüyorum. Değil mi? Yani sizlere ulaşabileceğimiz bilgiler var. Ve biz harekete geçmeye başlayacağız. Böyle bir örgüt yaratmaya. Ben size o örgütün esprisinin ne olduğunu anlatmaya çalıştım. Bugün buradaki toplantıda İngilizcesi buna teaser derler. Ben bunu bir teaser olarak bakıyorum. Yani teaser gıdıklayıcı diye bakıyorum. Onun için buradaki konular tamamen kısa zamanda arkadaşlar ne yapalım, teaserlarımız ne olsun, yani de bu konular çıkıyor. Fakat bizden mühendisliğe ve hatta akademik komünitenin bu konuyla uğraşan, sustainability uğraşan kimselerin daha beklentileri var. Mesela ben şahsen enerjiyi göremiyorum. Ama enerji de illa olsun arkadaşlar bu aşamada dersen, elim çok da yönetimle kirlendiği için şunu da farkındayım. Bütün olayı tartışmaları tekrar başlatıp çok dar bir zamanda iş yaptığımız için onu, yani bütün şeyi bozabilirdim, takvimi bozabilirdim. Onun için enerji şimdi dursun ama içeride ileride düşünürüz. Ben bu aşamada sözü Jeff'e vermek istiyorum. Jeff bize, yani böyle bir örgütü biz başarıyla kurarsak değil, kuracağız. Nokta. Yani kuracağız, elimizden geleni yapacağız. Kurarsak bizden UNSDS'den ne bekliyor? Jeff? What do you expect? Okay?
Thank you very much, and thank you for two wonderful days of important discussion. I think it's a little bit more than a teaser. I think you're off to an important start, and I'm very excited by it. let me give you some perspective of what I would recommend as you get started. And this is perspective with the idea of Turkey playing an important role in this global process, as well as this being helpful for you nationally. So the first point is that what we're trying to build is aiming to last for the next 16 years. Why 16 years? Because we have 1 year until the goals are set, 2015, and then they will last for 15 years, presumably. We'll know that next year. Maybe it'll be 20 years, in which case this will be a 21-year organization. The purpose of SDSN Turkey will be fundamentally to help Turkey achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Of course, framed in a way that's helpful for this country, because there will be global goals, and every country will have to make sense of them from the national priorities and the national context. So I would like SDSN Turkey to play two roles. One is a role in the lead up to the SDGs, and I'll put in parentheses through the G20 process which Turkey will host. And second is the role after the SDGs are established to help implement them over a period of 15 to 20 years. What does that mean? First, as you've just heard, the Secretariat will be at Boğaziçi. It will be supported to the extent that we can by the Columbia Global Center here, and of course by the Secretariat of the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, which is based at the Earth Institute at Columbia University. It happens that our main office for that Secretariat is in Paris, so the time zone is pretty good. And you'll have a lot of the support for this effort coming from the Secretariat of the global process. An organization. I'm sorry? Yes, of course. And we will continue to do a good job for you because you're very important and good friends of this whole effort. Now, in addition to a secretariat, you need members. The members are the universities in this country. The SDSN is basically an organization of universities around the world with partners in business and civil society. It was chartered by the Secretary General principally to be hosted by universities, but with the idea that the universities are working with businesses, with NGOs, and with government. The members, as universities, need to apply to the international chapter. So each university needs to submit an application to the UN SDSN. There's a form and a simple process. We need to know who the contact people are directly. We want a link to the website of every member. And every institution designates one person who is responsible as the counterpart of that institution. They join something we call the SDSN Assembly. The Assembly represents all of the organizations of the SDSN at the global level. And we have every 3 months or so a virtual meeting by teleconference with 200 or 300 members of the UN SDSN Assembly. So to be a member of the Turkey chapter, you also have to be a member of the global organization. It's free, but there's a form, a process, and a procedure to go through. The Secretariat here can help you to do that because our Secretariat will help the Secretariat here to ensure also that that is going smoothly. Yes, the universities. Then there should be a National Advisory Council. The National Advisory Council should include leading businesses, leading foundations, leading personalities who are part of this process, not just university participants. We want that advisory council to help this to work, to help steer it, give it access, give it prioritization, give it financing for particular projects. And we would like responsible leading people in the country to play that role. In each of the national chapters, we have very distinguished business leaders, CEOs, foundation heads, philanthropists, community leaders that are playing that role. We do not have government either in the advisory committee or in the membership. But I want to say a word about government. We are not, obviously, a political organization. We're neither for or against government in the political or partisan sense. But I do want us to be constructive with government, for sure. The idea is to be an interlocutor, to have meetings, to have roundtables, to be able to support the government. I want to encourage governments to ask for help in particular areas. Some will, some won't, but I want the offer to be on the table, that on particular issues, this is a network that can bring global expertise to support of national efforts also. So if you're engaged in a topic, my commitment is also that you have ready access globally to expertise that you might find helpful. You want to bring in someone on nuclear power, you want to bring in someone on solar power, you want to bring in someone on any of the topics, or a group, or a national meeting, or to say to the government, why don't we have a roundtable? The UN, SDSN, globally will help us to organize a roundtable of international experts so you can hear it not only from internally but internationally, these questions. That's part of the goal and the service here. So this is not meant to be, it's not government-led, and it's also meant to be constructive engagement. You know all about these issues. I don't need to elaborate more, but I do believe that we will reach our highest purpose if this is an independent organization, but a constructive engager with governments. Now, also, I view the government issue not only at the national level, but at the local level as well. We're urging very hard, and it looks like it's succeeding, that one of the Sustainable Development Goals will be about sustainable cities. And my image is that cities will take on these goals and organize city-level development goals, and that our process can help with that. And so that's another point of organization. Of course, organizationally, we want you to build an email list, a contact list, a website, and we're very happy at the global level to give support, suggestions, and so forth on the mechanical aspects of this to the extent that that is helpful. There are 4 different networks that I would like the national network to be part of. The first is the global network. And I would like some of Turkey's leading thinkers to be populating some of the global processes so that we're getting the benefit of your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience into the global discussions on a regular basis. We have 12 thematic groups dealing with a wide range of issues on energy, climate, biodiversity, extractive industries, health, education, and other related issues. And Each of these has they're called thematic groups, and they have 20 or 25 scholars, scientists from around the world on them. And I would certainly like Turkey to be well represented in this process. So we'll discuss that and identify priorities for you that will be most helpful. Of course, joining thematic groups where you want to plug in the information most directly will be one aspect. Second, where you have great expertise that we want to be shared globally, that's another direction. A second network, as I mentioned yesterday, is the Mediterranean SDSN. This is, the home is University of Siena, absolutely magnificent campus that is about 1,000 years old. It's really a beautiful area. We'll have a Mediterranean Basin meeting there, I hope next year. We had one last year, we'll have another next year. That's to consider the shared challenges of the Mediterranean, which are shared. This is a common civilization, it's a common ecosystem, it's got a shared renewable energy potential, and so on. And so the idea of the Mediterranean Basin SDSN is to look at those shared attributes and to work together on them. A second that I want to recommend is the Balkans region. And there, Mr. Vuk Jeremic, who was Foreign Minister of Serbia and then President of the General Assembly, is hosting a chapter in Belgrade, and it is reaching out throughout the region. And I would like the Turkey chapter to be part of that as well. There will be a meeting in Belgrade November 1 and 2 on energy challenges in this region, and that would be a good meeting to participate. A third network that I would like your advice and possible leadership is in the Middle East, and especially if there is a way to engage Syria, Iraq, Iran, and so on. This is very hard to do at government level, but sometimes academically it's easier to do. And I don't know whether it is or isn't, but I want to raise it because otherwise we have no way to reach those countries. And I know that there are a lot of academics that are interested in participating, and for political reasons or pure financial reasons, chaos reasons, and so forth, they can't. And so I would like to see if there's a way to reach out, and since Istanbul could be a terrific base for that. Also, we met officials from Kurdistan yesterday in Iraq, and I'm sure there's a university there that would engage. And so the question is whether it's feasible. This is tricky. I'm going to leave it to you for guidance, but it's something that is of interest to me. Second set of topics on organization is which areas will you focus on? Now, the main point is the SDGs in a year will define that more than it does today. So an ultimate goal of this organization will be to downscale the global SDGs in a meaningful way to Turkey and to help achieve them in a meaningful way for this society. But you will have priorities, of course, as you have been discussing in the last couple of days. And so I would like to you to identify those, and I'd like to help on those to the extent we can. There are a few areas that are of special concern to me that overlap in part with what we've discussed. I do want every national chapter to look at the energy issues, because this is a pretty fundamental part of the challenge. Decarbonization. I mentioned that we have a global deep decarbonization pathways project. We call it DDPP. I would like Turkey to have a team, and what the team means is your energy modelers. I don't systems in this country that would be interested in or already are actively engaged in looking at energy scenarios, especially at a macro scale. So what kind of energy systems for Turkey? What is the role of nuclear energy? What is the future of coal in this country? What is the renewable energy potential? How can one put this together in a holistic framework and chart a systematic pathway for Turkey that is consistent with Turkey's growing energy needs, but also consistent with what will be global boundary values on carbon emissions. And so this is what we're engaged in, and I would definitely like the SDS and Turkey to be engaged in that. A second set of issues is about climate change, water stress, agriculture in the future. So we do want to look ahead in ways that governments won't necessarily, or find it difficult, to understand how change is going to impact Turkey and what can be done about it to make the country more resilient. It's also linked, obviously, to energy. This country has large hydropower potential, but a lot of it may disappear in a much warmer climate, for example. I don't know what the hydrologists have determined on this, but this is an area where important study needs to be made, because building big dams that then don't have water in it is really a horrible prospect. We need to really think hard about that. Also, agriculture will be affected here. This is an agricultural center of the world, and it's also a climate change center with drying, higher temperatures, water scarcity, water stress growing, groundwater depletion. These are very serious issues for Turkey. And so this is another area where we could work. Obviously, the international aspects of the water supply are huge and controversial. The river systems with the headwaters in Turkey that are waterways for this whole region. In truth, these are problems that academics should be working on, because it's very hard for governments to work on them in first principle. But scientists should work on them together. What is the future water flow of the Tigris, the Euphrates? What's going to happen with climate change? How is water to be shared among upstream and downstream countries? They're very difficult, contentious issues, obviously. What happens when dams are built? What are the implications? But I do think that this is a responsibility of scientists and people who take a deep evidence base on these questions. Another topic that we did consider that I think you have a lot of expertise in and a lot of challenge is sustainable cities. And I would like, as one of those areas where Turkey is represented at the global level, I would certainly like one of your top urban planning experts to be in the thematic group on sustainable cities. This city needs to be in the international milieu because it's one of the world's most important cities, of course, and one of the world's most historic cities, and one of the world's most challenged cities in terms of sustainability. And I thought the movie we watched yesterday, the video, was absolutely fantastic, really first rate, and I want the rest of the world to see it also. So that's why we need to make the connections there. One final topic that I want to mention is that, and I mentioned it briefly yesterday, is that Monash University in Australia has done a one-year national workshop of universities on what should the SDGs for Australia be. And we'll share all that material with you. And you might think about that kind of exercise of just discussing the SDG framework here among the universities as an SDG framework. Now, we'll get goals within 12 months, so it'll be narrowed down a bit, but it still is a good visioning exercise to to ask about sustainable development goals, national level for Turkey. So that's the second area that I wanted to mention. First, organization. Second is topics. Third area is the G20. Turkey will be hosting the G20 next year. This is an extremely important annual meeting. It is a chance and also responsibility for Turkey's leadership. The Turkish government gets to set some of the agenda, not all of it, but some of it. It's going to happen just in the midst of establishing the SDGs and just before the climate summit next year. And so I would hope that the SDSN could be helpful to the government in this process and to open up a discussion, for example, with the minister that came yesterday, Kapanoglu, who Caltech graduate, I like that. Obviously, very smart. Yeah, wonderful. So I think we could help and to be supportive of the G20 process in ways that might be useful. Organize an academic conference around it, organize a workshop with government, test government ideas. I will be available to come for that if that's useful, and just to raise it. Governments will view that, that's our territory, not yours, but I think we can be helpful and should be helpful on this. It's a very big responsibility for Turkey and also a terrific opportunity, especially given the timing of this in view of the global negotiations. A fourth area to consider are what we call solution initiatives. We, by obvious reason, don't implement at large scale, but we can implement things at smaller scale. Demonstration projects, trial projects, green campuses, other initiatives. And this is one of the goals of the SBSN, is to incubate new approaches. And so we didn't discuss that explicitly, though we heard a lot of important and interesting initiatives in the last 2 days. But there can be a solutions initiatives program here, and the international SDSN can help raise funds for it if it's appropriate, because generally doing things is more costly than meeting, but we should also aim for that kind of engagement. It can be the campuses, it can be smart cities initiatives, it can be particular rural agriculture initiatives, and so forth. A fifth category that I want to mention is education. Part of our goal is to promote training in sustainable development, actually at all levels. Public education, public awareness, even secondary school or primary and secondary education, and of course higher education. That's our home turf. So there are a number of ways that we can do this. One modest offering that I just want to signal